Good morning in Australia and Asia, everyone. Good afternoon in North America, South America, and good evening in Europe. Welcome to Mahamudra teachings today. So before we practice Mahamudra, before I teach Mahamudra, I would like to chant Lama Tsongkhapa's mantra. We do it together. Hey, me, je, te, je, me, je, ambo, jambe, de bon mal, de sang, kanjin ke be, song kaba. Los and Bishop Lasso me me chin me jembe wan bon jambe de bon malin jomze sangwe Kanjin kebe sujin songka close on the beshavla so make me the changing to me jembe ambo jambe the bon malin jom ze sangwena kanjin gebe suje songkamba lo zanda be shavla so Welcome to Mahamudra teaching. So according to Mahamudra tradition in general, in Kagyupa tradition and Geluk tradition, we have to accomplish foundation of Mahamudra. We have to do preliminary practice of Mahamudra. And so generally there are four preliminaries. First preliminary is taking refuge in the three jewels, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and generate bodhicitta. Second preliminary practice is mandala offering. You offer the mandala, the universe, and yourself, your own body, speech, and mind to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Third preliminary practice is Vajrasattva practice, Vajrasattva sadhana, and mantra recitation. And fourth preliminary practice is Guru Yoga. You practice Guru Yoga. So last week I taught a little bit about the preparation for Mahamudra practice. There are a number of preparations. For example, what we call in Tibetan Jorchu. Jorchu means preparation dharma. And first, Jorchu preparation dharma is you clean your room, clean your space, place where you are practicing, and set up altar. That is the first preparation for meditation. So why do we clean our room or place you meditate and set up altar? Because when you meditate, it is good to meditate on sort of a right space, right environment, right place, and simple and clean and nice. And if the place is too crowded or congested and cluttered and too many objects around, so many material things, and then there are lots of, how should I say, kind of reminder of daily life or worldly things, and it could be problematic for your own meditation. And that's why you need to sort out things, make it simple and nice. And why do we make it clean? Because the idea of meditation and the purpose of meditation, purpose of Mahamudra practice is purification of the body, purification of the mind, and um, and and so the idea of cleaning is a contribute. Cleaning contribute for purification of the mind and body. Say if your place is unclean, too much dust or filthy and dirty, then it is not a very suitable place to sit. It is not very comfortable place. It is not very comfortable. It is not sort of appealing to your mind. It's not very sort of inviting for your mind. It is important to sit somewhere clean, in clean room, clean house, clean space, or you go out and sit in nature, in the forest, or next to the river or lake or somewhere, and it's more appropriate for your mind and body. This is why it is important to clean. So Tibetan word is nekang chidor chala. Nekang chidor chala means the place and or house should be cleaned, and that's the first jorchu. And also, it's not only your own mind, but here when you meditate, depends on your meditation. When you meditate, you are inviting the object of refuge. See here, Mahamudra foundation practice, as I said, you have first you take refuge to the three jewels and then cultivate bodhicitta. And so when you take refuge to the three jewels, you are inviting jewel of Buddha in front of you, jewel of Dharma in front of you, and jewel of Sangha in front of you. So they are invited as like a object or a meditation, holy object, and they are supreme guest. So it's important to make the places clean and nice. You don't invite guests where your place is too cluttered or not so clean, and it's and no one does that, and I mean, unless you're some kind of eccentric yogi or yogini, and that's a different case, and they know that you are eccentric, so they don't care. Or and that's not the question about if someone cares or not, or you care or not. But when you're inviting the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, it is important to have a simple and clean and nice place. That's why you clean the room and set up an altar. Okay, and that mambu shugumi choba dambu negan chiduri chila choba yomeba sham that negan chiduri chila kangba zu sangma se gomja su sangma ya woji choba sham chare. The second preparation is offering, make offerings. He says, second preparation, Dharma is making offerings. So you offer material things, material offerings such as water, flower, incense, light, and food, and musical instruments. Whatever you have, you offer something to show, again, appreciation, gratitude to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and to the Guru. Make offerings from your side. And also, if you don't have material offerings, you should offer your own merit, your own virtues. You offer your Dharma practice. I will explain this later. And then a third preparation for meditation is sit. You sit on a cushion properly. I mentioned this before last week. I don't want to go through again. You practice the 7 Mahavairochana position postures. Okay, I explained that last week already. I won't go through that again. And so now, fourth preliminary practice is taking refuge. Fourth preparation dharma practice is visualize the object of accumulation of merit or merit field. It is also known as a refuge tree. So, so you could visualize refuge tree like refuge tree of Gelug tradition, Lama Tsongkhapa as a principal, and then you visualize all the gurus above. Then around below there is a Yidam deities of the 4 classes of Tantra. Then other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Arahats, Dakas and Dakinis, and Dharmapalas, and so forth. You visualize them in front of you, and or you can visualize simple object of refuge, which you could visualize Shakyamuni Buddha in front of you, or Lama Tsongkhapa in front of you, Lama Tsongkhapa sitting on the lotus and moon cushion, or Shakyamuni Buddha sitting on the lotus cushion, or you could visualize Tara sitting on the lotus and moon cushion. Imagine Tara is the embodiment of all the Buddhas, or she's the emanation of all the Buddhas, and embodiment of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and Dakas and Dakinis, Dharma protectors, and so forth. You visualize in front of you. So this is the fourth preparation. So this brings then refuge. So here, refuge. Okay. So according Buddhism, taking refuge is the beginning of practice, beginning of meditation. Whenever we do meditation or whatever practice we do, sadhanas or rituals for healing or cleansing, purification, whatever you do, you take refuge to Buddha as an example. You take refuge to Dharma as a path. You take refuge to Sangha as a spiritual community. So this is a Buddhist tradition, all Buddhist tradition, not just Tibetan Buddhism, Theravadan Buddhism, like Thailand, Burma, Sri Lanka, and so on and so forth, or Mahayana Buddhist tradition in China, Japan, and Korea, and so on and so forth. In Tibetan Buddhist tradition in Tibet, in India, in Nepal, Bhutan, Mongolia, and Siberia, Buryatia, and many people, Western people around the world now practice Tibetan Buddhism. So we take refuge first, and we take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha first. So we always start with refuge. So why do we always start with refuge? Because, as I said, we take refuge to Buddha as an example. So example, and Buddha is our teacher, and he's a great example. We follow the footsteps of Buddha, and when you take refuge to Buddha, and then you, in your mind, you think about the Buddha and the quality of the Buddha, attainments of the Buddha, and the knowledge of Buddha, wisdom of Buddha, and how many lifetime the Buddha himself practiced holy Dharma, and he meditated for many years. He did asceticism, and then he got enlightened, and he taught Dharma for many years, 46 years. Buddha obtained enlightenment when he was age of 37. Then he taught the Dharma until he entered Parinirvana. And so 46 years Buddha taught. Dharma for all sentient beings. And he practiced first, and then he taught Dharma. He taught Vajrayana, he taught Mahayana, he taught Hinayana or Theravada, and he taught many different types of dharmas for all kinds of sentient beings according their mental capacity, according their inclinations. Buddha taught so many years. Uh, so Buddha is example for us. Because Buddha was a human being. He was born in today is Nepal in Lumbini, and he was the son of King Suddhodana, Queen Maya Devi. He was known as a Prince Siddhartha. Prince Siddhartha. In Tibetan we say Yonu Tundu. Yonu means youth or young man, and Tundu is Siddhartha, one who accomplished everything what he wished. So the Buddha is the highest example. So we take the refuge to Buddha, then it gives us inspiration to practice. And every time when we practice, we take refuge to Buddha, and it inspires us, right? We can move forward, keep going. And this is why we take refuge to Buddha first. Then we take refuge to Dharma as a path. Dharma is the teaching of Buddha, and we take refuge to Dharma. And so when you say, I go refuge to Dharma, in Tibetan we say, Chola Chapsu Chivo. And what does that mean? So Dharma is a real refuge, and like a medicine. Buddha is like a doctor. Sangha is as a helper or nurse. Dharma is the medicine. So you have to take the medicine by yourself, herbs or modern medicine, whatever, right? And then antibiotics, whatever you take, and then you feel the benefit, and then you recover, and you have to do it by yourself, and nobody else can do for you, and even Buddha can't do for you. The protectors cannot do it for you. You have to do yourself. Self-liberation. In Tibetan word, we call sosor tarpa. Sosor tarpa. Sosor tarpa means individual liberation. And you liberate yourself by practicing Dharma. You practice Dharma as a path. So Dharma is precious, and Dharma is like a precious medicine. There is no higher medicine than the Dharma. There's no holy teaching than Dharma. Dharma is always powerful. Dharma practice is always good, from always in the past, in the present moment, and the future. Dharma is always good, and there is no problem with the Dharma. Dharma itself is always pure. And in Tibetan, we have saying, Kangzala matin, chula tin. Okay, this is very important for you to remember. Kangzala matin, chula tin. Do not rely on the person, but rely on the Dharma. Okay, this is very important. Kangzala matin, chula tin. Kangza is the person. Matin means do not rely on the person. Why? Because human beings are human beings. As you know, we have a saying, I'm only human being. And people make excuses or whatever. They say, well, we all make mistakes, right? We're human beings. And sometimes it's true. Sometimes it could be excuse, and easy to excuse ourselves. And yes, most of the time we are human beings. We make mistakes. And as long as you're a human being, and nobody is infallible, and because you're a human being, you have a human body, human mind, right? Even your highly reincarnated, so-called reincarnated Lama, it's not infallible. You're human beings, and so that's why do not rely on the person. Do not just follow the person with a blind faith, with close your eyes saying, I follow you. You are Messiah, you are Messiah, you're Bodhisattva, I follow you. You should not chase the Bodhisattva, should not chase the Guru, should not chase Lama. Do not become Guru groupie, and listen to teaching, then cultivate, practice internally, and integrate in within yourself, by yourself. And Kanzala Mate, do not rely on the person. Rely on Dharma, which means you rely your mind, your body, speech, into the Dharma, the teaching itself. The teaching itself will not never deceive us. Dharma is always good, and Dharma is perfect. This is why it says, Kansala Matin Cholate, do not rely on the person, rely on the Dharma. Sigla Matin Talna Thing in Tibetan word, do not rely on the words, but rely into the essence of the practice. Don't rely on words. The words can be misinterpreted, and especially now you translate so many times, translate from Sanskrit to Tibetan, Tibetan into English, then from English you translate Italian, then translate into French, then translate into Japanese or Chinese or whatever. You keep translating so many times, then it's diluting. Every time when you translate, it dilutes, and then something else happens, and you see lost in translations, right? That's what it says. Famous word we use in the West, lost in translation. There's a movie called Lost in Translation, right? So you lose the essence, and that's why I do not rely on the words. Rely on the meaning, the practice itself. So of course you can always debate. And how do you get the meaning without words, without reading, so on and so forth. And so this time is not time for debating. I'm not interested in debating right now. We don't have time for debating. And if you like to debate, I'm happy to debate some point, some other time. I'm a fairly good debater, and I'm very proud of debating. And if anybody wants to challenge me, go ahead and debate me. We can set up time, a separate time, then we can debate whatever subject you want to debate. And I like debating. And see, Tibetan Buddhist way of debating is different than Western debating. And in West, you have debating and competitions in the universities, right? And the Tibetan Buddhist tradition of debating is different. As you see in the monasteries, the monks are clapping their hands. And very strong. That tradition goes back way back in Tibet and back all the way back to India, time of Dharmakirti, Chandrakirti, and Nagarjuna, and Nalanda Monastery. There was 10,000 monks in Nalanda, center of India. Takshila Monastery, there was 10,000 monks. Takshila now is in Pakistan, near Peshawar and Rawalpindi. I've been there myself when it was good time. And there's another monastery called Vikamalashila. Sometimes known as Vikamalashila or Vikamalashila. Actually, the actual pronunciation is Vikamalashila. Vikamalashila is in Bengal, and there was another 10,000 monks. So these are universities, Buddhist universities, way back then, like say for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th centuries, way back then. Anyway, so now I'm talking about the word and the meaning and so on and so forth. So taking refuge to Dharma, I'm talking about taking refuge. Dharma is very important one. Then taking refuge to Sangha is very important. Okay. Of course, we need a Sangha, spiritual community. We are human beings. We need support. We need somebody to discuss with and sit and share and ideas and debate and discuss and get advice from your seniors or teachers, so on. Human history, human beings always live together, travel together like wolves, like a pack, together. And there are some human beings, they live by himself or herself, like yogis and yoginis, hermits. And that's a different case, different story. Like rhinoceros, rhinos, they like to be alone. They don't travel as a herd. And elephants, they travel like a herd. Rhinos, they don't travel as a herd. You don't see rhinos, group of rhino traveling together. Even this year, there was a group of elephants somewhere traveling in the south of China, Yunnan province, and they're making their way somewhere. People don't know why they're going from one place to another place. So they let them go and don't stop them. But they know where they're going. And they have good reason looking for right environment for food or water, or they know certain area habitat is no good anymore because there's too much pollution. They go somewhere where there's less pollution. They know they're very, very intelligent and they can communicate each other through low frequent sound. And from one elephant can send a message to another elephant for like 20 miles. 20 miles, that's what I read. I'm not talking from the text, Buddhist text, but some magazine I read long time ago. Maybe it was a National Geography, or I'm not sure. Like the whales, they can communicate in the ocean for a long way, miles and miles, hundreds and many miles. They can communicate under the ocean. Like that, elephants do that. They know where the water is. They go walk across the Arabian desert from Egypt to Morocco or somewhere, and or from wherever they are. And anyway, so in India too, like in Rajasthan and so on and so forth. So human beings live together like the way back in way back. Our ancestors, they live in the caves and make a fire, and after the end of the day, they share their meal after the hunting and cook together. They live, and then slowly evolution. Human beings always gathering and especially um, they set up schools, universities, monasteries, and then debating. So here we are, sangha. As a sangha is important. We sit together, group, meditate, and now we share our dharma practice through Zoom and YouTube and so on and so forth through social media. Because of the pandemic, we didn't have choice, and we are unable to share sit together in the same room. In one sense, it's good. In some one sense, it's not so good. One way, it's very convenient, as you see. And I'm here, and some of you, many of you, on the other side of the world, down under, and Europe, and it's amazing technology. It brings the Dharma together. So what we're doing is right now we're practicing. We are taking refuge at the moment. We are taking refuge to Dharma. We take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So now I don't want to keep talking too much, and I would like to visualize the refuge object. We take refuge, then generate bodhicitta. After that, we meditate on Mahamudra. Okay, so this time please sit comfortably on meditation cushion. You visualize Shakyamuni Buddha in front of you, and about 10 feet or 15 feet in front of you, above you. Shakyamuni Buddha sitting on lotus and moon cushion, beautiful golden color, golden complexion. He has one face, two hands, and wearing beautiful robe. And his body is marked with 32 major marks and 80 minor marks. And he's sitting on the lotus and moon cushion. 당간서 검지 정부에 알려당보 점도 지거로 점도 제외 점도 제발라 점도 접수도 유공부터 군도 누구 전에 다자가 좀 버셔도 좀 나고 때마다 되거든 주의해 같이 두스tin. So visualize Shakyamuni Buddha sitting cross leg. Right hand is and in the mudra of touching the earth. Left hand is mudra of meditative echo pose. He's holding this beautiful bowl with the nectar inside, and he's sitting very powerful way, majestic way, and he's wearing beautiful maroon and burgundy and orange robe, and also there's a light shining behind his crown, behind his head, behind his body, like a aura or hello, whatever you how you say hello, hello, right? And so visualize Shakyamuni Buddha in front of you. Then uh, we say Tibetan word Kundu Norulu, which means uh, he represents Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha all. The Buddha himself, he represents all the Buddhas of the past, present, future. And he's Buddha. And so we take refuge to him as a same as all Buddhas. And then his speech is Dharma. And when Buddha talks, Buddha speaks, and everything is Dharma. And he already taught 84,000 Dharmas and so many teachings already. And he's at the moment, his own speech is Dharma. Then the Buddha is also Sangha because his physical body is sitting in front of us as a teacher, holy teacher, the Buddha, as a human being, as a monk, and so the Buddha is Sangha. So Buddha, we take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha together as a Shakyamuni Buddha as an object. Shakyamuni Buddha is the embodiment of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Ta Dagjaga Tomba Shajatuba, Nuna Gumna, any Dagundu Novulu Che, Dagjaga Tomba Shajatuba, Sangye, Sanji Kundu, Cho Kundu, Gendum Kundu, Yinyamita, Mivanarana. Also visualize Shakyamuni Buddha in front of us. After you visualize Shakyamuni Buddha, then from your heart, you express your feelings, devotion to Buddha. I take refuge to you as a Buddha, as an example. I take refuge to you as a Dharma. Your speech is profound Dharma to me, precious Dharma. I take refuge to you as a Sangha. You are the Supreme Sangha. You are a spiritual friend and a senior. And I take refuge to you. So we express that from your heart. So let's visualize Shakyamuni Buddha in front of us. We take refuge. And while we are visualizing Shakyamuni Buddha in front of us, then imagine a beautiful light, bright light emanating from his heart, enter through your crown and bless your body. Then the light descended down to your throat and bless your speech. Then the same light descended down to your heart and bless your mind and the rest of your body as well, blessed. And bless is an English word. In Tibetan word, we say chinlap, chinlap. And this word is a very good word. Those of you who can read Tibetan or speak Tibetan, you should remember this word, chinlap. So this is a good word. Chinlap means waves of inspiring strength. Waves, uh, waves of inspiring strength. So chin is blessing or strength. Lap is um, waves. So I saw this translation way back 1970s, and first translation was done by Professor um, Alexander Brisen. Alexander Brisen. And I was very impressed. I like the word. And waves of inspiring strength. So it was suitable for me then because I lived in Queensland in Australia, very close to the ocean. I go to the beach sometimes. If I go there early morning at 5 in the morning, you can smell the sea, see the big waves coming. It's very kind of wake you up. You're fresh, refreshing your mind, refreshing your body. I don't swim. I'm not good swimming. Swimmer. I go down to the ocean, do a little bit, catch the waves, like body surfing, whatever you want to call, and not surfing, but just body kind of rolling and catching the waves. Very inspiring. So waves of inspiring string. It made sense to me because when you visualize the Buddha in front of you, when you say the mantra, or any Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, or Vajrasattva, or Lama Tsongkhapa, Vajrayogini, Tara, doesn't matter, right? And and then you can feel the blessing coming into your heart, into your mind, and then you can feel the blessing. You're inspired, right? And suddenly you see that you can experience the blessing. You can experience deep inner peace. Chinlap, the Tibetan word chinlap. So you can feel deep blessing, inner peace. So then automatically your daily concerns, worries, anxiety, fear, and neurosis, whatnot, all temporarily, all gone. And you feel peaceful and then you feel energized, right? And if you do meditation, then most of you know, and then you can't live without meditation. You don't want to miss your morning meditation, afternoon meditation, or evening meditation. You don't want to go to bed until you finish your evening session meditation. After you do morning meditation, it makes a big difference. Whole day you feel more calm and peaceful and clear your mind. And if you do the meditation at night before you go to bed, the meditation or sadhanas, whatever you do, it makes your body relax, mind is very peaceful. Then you go to bed, you have good sleep and good dreams, and then goes around, comes around day and night. So you're inspired, chinlap, right? So blessings. So imagine you receive the blessings of the Buddha's holy body, speech, and mind. Imagine the light enter into you through your crown, heart, throat, and heart. Da sanji chomdende daja dom bishaju to dunla om ane gom ne Daja Gamba Shaji Tuga Neosis, Badam Trip, Jalap, was it Trip, they just was a Jew in the Martin. Then Sanji goes on to Jalap, Jukes on Yami, Mevanarona, Mevanaire. That Jalap said, and the Babatala, Jalap said, Shiram Omusha Wamari, Jalap sing, Junsin Karimba, changing Marawa. That, Jenda Mitos, the Jalap said, there's a machine, how come Mendo did it. That is on the Baba in a low chant to Shirashik Mare, Chelem singing the Sanji Chu Yamnichi, Gomja, Jamdruchi, Lama, so the Yidam saw the and then Kando Chujun from the sort and Sem Lulu, Sem Chibuyon, Sem Loloyon, Sem Data, Dunga, Nyoda Kangabe, Negarang, Nyoda Kanga charge. Sem Chibuchi, Sem Luluchi, Yabushu Jinguore, Yungudua. I'm talking here, I'm just said in Tibetan to my Tibetan friends, I'm talking through my own experience. I'm not talking about just theory or talking based on the text. And even today, many young people in Tibet and or in India, they don't meditate. And most young people don't meditate. And only monks or nuns meditate. So it is important for them to meditate. And they think, oh, the Injis are meditating. Why is that? They say Inji means Westerners, right? And Tibetan Inji means English. In the old days, our neighbors, the English and British, right? Then everybody is English, Injis. And like in Thailand, they're called Phalang. Everybody is French because Indochina. And so the Injis are not the only one who meditate. Tibetans should meditate. And Tibetans used to meditate a lot. And nowadays, degenerating. And kind of unfortunate thing, right? In Mongolia, people don't meditate. They just say the mantras. And that's all. So this is why Suzuki Roshi said Zen is died in Japan, then come to the West. And that's what he said, because people in Japan are not interested in meditating, and Westerners meditating in California. And I don't know what's happening now in the West or Japan. I don't know. I'm not updated everything. But in any case, it is important for everyone should meditate. Doesn't matter you're Easterner, Westerner, or Japanese, or Chinese, or Tibetans, Mongols, and Westerners, Canadians, Australians. One should meditate. It's very important. Okay, so you imagine beautiful light enter into you through your crown, into your heart. You experience clear light and blessings of Shakyamuni Buddha. And at this point we say mantra of Shakyamuni Buddha, Om Muni Muni Mahamuni Soha. 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 There are 8 benefits of taking refuge in the 3 jewels, the jewel of Buddha, jewel of Dharma, and jewel of Sangha. These are 8 benefits according Lamrim teaching. First benefit of taking refuge is you will able to enter into the path of Buddha. Taking refuge is the entrance to the path of Dharma. So um, the taking refuge is the entrance of entrance. Is sort of you go through the gate, through the door, right? And when you go inside the temple, you go through the door. First, you go through the gate, then go into the temple, right? And sometimes you need a ticket. You need some kind of permit to go inside like that. So taking refuge is like that. When you take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, then you personally, from your heart, you then are able to enter yourself to the Dharma. You are you personally you feel comfortable. You're saying, okay, now I took refuge to Buddha as an example, Dharma as path, Sangha as a community, spiritual community. Now I can practice Dharma. I'm going to practice. I'm going to meditate. So you don't have hesitation. You don't have obstacles. You don't have hangouts, and you don't have any doubts. So this is one of this is the very first benefit of taking refuge um, mm, uh, to three jewels. Second refuge benefit is refuge is foundation of all vows, precepts. In order to receive vows, precepts, one must take refuge in the three jewels. So, taking refuge is the foundation of taking further more vows and precepts. And if you want to take vows, precepts, like the 5 precepts, 8 Mahayana precepts, Bodhisattva precepts, or Tantric precepts, whatever precept or vows you want to take, first you take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. This is the way to do it. This is the proper way to do it. And as a Dharma person, right? As a Buddhist, I know other non-Buddhists, they take their own precepts too, and so vows and villages and so on and so forth. But if you don't take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, then you are not taking refuge, not taking precepts as a Dharma practitioner, as a Buddhist. And third benefit of taking refuge to three jewels is previous karmas will be purified. Buddha is the spiritual guide who show us how to purify our unwholesome karmas. Dharma is the method of purification of karma, and Sangha provides help and support for our purification. So, when we take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, then this is the beginning of purification of our body, speech, and mind happens, and our karmas will be purified. And I won't talk about karma, details of karma right now. It will take a long time, hours. And most people, you know what the karma means, the meaning of karma, right? Karma means cause and effect, law of cause and effect, and volition, action, law of cause and effect. So we created karma in our past lives, present life, now, and the future. At the moment, right this moment, I'm talking Dharma, I'm creating karma. You're listening, teaching, you're creating karma too. We are creating what we call collective karmas, right? So we have created wholesome karmas, unwholesome karmas. We have collected or created indifferent karmas. So when you take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, then you are able to purify karma. Again, you follow the Buddha as an example, then purify karma. For example, we follow the example like Milarepa, and then to the great Tibetan master Yogi Milarepa, then we can purify our karmas like the way Milarepa did himself. So we do the similar thing what the Milarepas did, after following advice of his guru Marpa, right? So we could do the same thing, and on our own capacity or on level, we may not be able to do exactly the way Marpa Milarepa did, and or we don't have a guru like Marpa, such a very powerful and wrathful guru. We don't live in the same kind of time, but we can do our own way, and according the present condition, circumstances, and where we are, we can do our purification. This is why it is important to purify karma. So taking refuge is the beginning of a basis of purification of karma. Then the fourth benefit of taking refuge, you will have great opportunity to create virtues and merit. So again, I don't need to say this. If you take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, then you have more opportunity to create merit, more virtues, and so on. And the fifth benefit of taking refuge, it says, human and non-human beings will not harm. We will be completely protected by the three jewels, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. We will become strong and secure. However, if you think spirit could harm you, your family, and your guru, then this means your faith in the three jewels is weak. So it says if you take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and there's no human beings or non-human beings who could harm you, and because Dharma practice will protect you. Dharma explains how you protect yourself. Who is, when you think about human beings are going to harm you, non-human beings are going to harm you, right? Like especially some ghost and spirits going to harm you. Who is ghost anyway? Who's spirit? And in most of the time, spirits and ghosts are your own mental projection. So once you no longer have negative projections, and then it stops right there. There is no human being, a non-human being who's going to harm you. And for example, Milarepa was sitting in a cave, and he thought there's a little spirit, a nasty little spirit, running around outside his cave, and one day he's going to harm him. He had some sort of projection, right? And he was meditating, and I think this spirit was coming inside the cave. He's going to disturb his meditation. He had this projection. So then one day he saw this little spirit come in. He's laughing and being kind of mischievous and disturbing Milarepa's meditation. So Milarepa said to him, "Why are you being so mischievous? Why are you disturbing my meditation?" So the spirit said, "Because of you, your mind is creating little spirit and mischievous will come inside. You created me. That's why I'm here. If you stop creating this projection, mischievous fellow is going to come in, then there will be no more. I won't be here. I'm not. I am. I am who I am, or you think who I am." And so then Milarepa said, "Okay, well then, good for you, good for me. Goodbye." And then the spirit and that little spirit, mischievous spirit disappeared. There's nobody, right? And so if you're projecting, then yes, of course, something will happen. And all the shamanic tradition, Buddhist tradition, non-Buddhist tradition, there's a lots of spirits, words. We have lots of cultural-wise, Asian culture, Chinese culture, Mongolian culture. There are lots of superstitions, like all these some spirits, nasty guys running around causing you problems, and largely it's a superstition, right? And it's something you're creating by your mind. If you don't believe that, there will be no spirits. It's only your mind. And if you cultivate, meditate on loving kindness, you send love to all sentient beings, and nobody's going to harm you because bodhicitta, loving mind, is supreme. Bodhicitta is supreme. bodhicitta is more supreme than spirits and demons and ghosts. And ghosts and spirits, they know themselves. If there is any spirits and ghosts, they know you are practicing loving kindness for them. So why would they come and harm you? See, I'll tell you another story. Um, in Tibet, um, a long time ago, uh, and there was a very famous Kadamba Geshe. His name was Geshe Kamlungpa. Kamlungpa. He lived in the Pimpo Valley, the Lhasa Valley. The Lhasa is the capital of Tibet, the big valley. Then the other side of the mountain is another valley. It's called Pimpo Valley. So this Geshe, Kadamba Geshe, Kamlungpa, he was lived in a small hut, mud hut or a stone hut or a cave. I'm not sure. He was meditating. He was very famous. So people from Pimple, they go and make offerings to him, and they take refuge. They go and get some advice and teachings, and people go there regularly make offerings, lots of offerings. So then there was a spirit who lived in somewhere in the valley, and he was jealous. He said to himself, "Nobody comes to visit me. Nobody gives me food. Nobody gives me presents. But this Geshe who lives in the mountain, he get all the good offerings, presents, and he's a monk. Why does he need so much? And why does he get all these offerings? I don't get anything. This is unfair." And he got jealous, right? So then uh, his jealous got bigger and bigger and bigger. He couldn't resist. He could not control his jealousy. So then he said, "I'm going to go cause trouble for this Geshe. I'm going to make him to leave from this valley because I don't like this. It makes me feel very annoyed and uncomfortable, right?" And so he went. He was going up to the hillside, went to the Geshe's place. Then he sat outside there and listening. And the Geshe was chanting, and the Geshe was saying, "I practice Buddha. I take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I practice the bodhicitta. May all sentient beings be happy. May all sentient beings have no suffering, cause of suffering." And then he said, especially demons, ghosts, spirits, and who are hungry, who are jealous, who are suffering. I dedicate my merit for them. I offer my presents, whatever I have here. I got some barley and some butter and cheese, this and that. I like to offer to these spirits. He was saying that genuinely from his heart. So then the ghost said to himself, "Wow, wow, he's praying for me. I'm a ghost. He's praying for me, and he's praying for everybody. And he's not so arrogant or proud himself, being famous. He's trying to offer stuff for me. If I go inside his room, he will, of course, give me the meal or whatever. And he is so pure, sincere. It's impossible. I'm not going to harm him. I can't harm him." So he was actually very embarrassed himself, and he couldn't harm. So then, of course, the Geshe was clairvoyant. He knew this guy spirit was outside. He said, "You come inside now. You're welcome inside." So he was very nervous, ashamed himself. He went inside, and the Geshe said, "Sit down. How are you?" And Geshe said, "I care you a lot, and don't get jealous. And it's just your karma and my karma. I'm a Geshe monk. My karma. You have your karma. If you pray and meditate, next life you could reborn as a human beings, and then you could become a monk. You can become Geshe like me, and you could be my student or whatever. We can practice together." And at the moment, for now, what do you want here? Food, lots of abundant food. You take whatever you want. He said, "No, I don't want any food. And then he was very remorse. He said, "Please pray for me." And the Geshe said, "Oh, I of course I pray for you. Would you like to get some teachings?" And he said, "Yeah, sure. Please give me teaching." So the Geshe gave him teachings. He received teachings, and he got some food. And then he went back to his village where he was, and he was very happy. So this is a beautiful story, right? I like this story. And so there is no non-human beings. No one, no one can harm. Today, people say, "Oh, this protector, that spirit, harming somebody, harming for my life, harming for the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, harming this and that." I think, it's kind of very sad, and we should follow the teaching itself, follow closely, follow the Lamrim, what the Lamrim said, and we don't need to be so superstitious, right? We shouldn't be superstitious. As a Buddhist, Dharma practitioner should not be superstitious. Only shamanic people, some people would be superstitious because they're part of their culture, right? Okay, now sixth benefit of um, taking refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha is you will not fall into the low rebirth, cause of low rebirth. Rebirth karmas will be eradicated. Okay, so this is simple. If you take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, one will not take low rebirth, which means one will not have lower consciousness. In the future, there will be no low rebirth. And seventh benefit is you will have chance to achieve temporary and long-term goals, temporary realizations and long-term realizations. So again, if you take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, you have a chance to obtain realizations in temporary level, day-to-day or meditation, also on long term. And the eighth benefit is you become enlightened in the near future. More you practice refuge in the three jewels, more you are swiftly gathering the source of enlightenment. So refuge is cause of enlightenment, and all the previous Buddhas obtained enlightenment through taking refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. The Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Mahasiddhas, great teachers, everybody done this way. Okay, so now I explained about the benefit of the taking refuge very briefly. And now we go to actual Mahamudra practice. Okay, and so there are two kinds of Mahamudras, Sutra Mahamudra and Tantra Mahamudra. Okay, generally speaking. 다 차제 첨부들라 돌로기 차제 첨부다 나루 차제 첨부 이요 다른 데 먼저 나루 차제 첨부 쉬어매 돌로기 차제 첨부 쉬고요. So I will not explain a Tantric Mahamudra at this point. First, only explain Sutra Mahamudra. So we do Sutra Mahamudra meditation. So then the way we do is step by step. Traditionally, when studying Mahamudra, there have been two approaches. Or traditionally when you meditate on Mahamudra, there's two-way approach. Seeking meditative samadhi after gaining the correct view, or seeking the correct view after gaining meditative samadhi. Okay, so what this means is, what this means is that there's two ways. There's two ways. One way is you first meditate on correct view of shunyata. Then you meditate on samatha Mahamudra, cultivate calm abiding mind and develop concentration. Okay. Or the other way around, seeking calm abiding mind, develop concentration and profound concentration, develop samatha, calm abiding mind. Then after that, you practice correct view of shunyata. So what we call samatha vipassana, Mahamudra vipassana, samatha Mahamudra, and vipassana Mahamudra. Samatha Mahamudra is in Tibetan we say tingin or shinegi chaji champo, and vipassana Mahamudra is tungni chaji champo. There are different ways of. And first you have Tantra Mahamudra and Sutra Mahamudra. Within the Sutra Mahamudra, there are two different Sutra Mahamudras, Samatha Mahamudra and Vipassana Mahamudra. Shinegi chaji champo and tungi chaji champo. So which one should practice? Okay. So according Lama Tsongkhapa's tradition, you practice Samatha Mahamudra first, then we practice Vipassana Mahamudra. Okay, here. Lama Je Tsongkhapa and first Panchen Lama, Losang Chuji Jeltsin, taught the later method, and I am following that method. So what they taught, seeking the correct view after having gained meditative samatha. So you seek correct view, you meditate on shunyata only after you gain meditative samadhi, calm abiding mind. Ultimate nature of the mind is clear light. The defilements are temporary. Mind is not within the mind, but it is clear light. Mind has no beginning and no end. So this time, I would like to talk a little bit about Samatha Mahamudra. Okay, so whichever Mahamudra you practice, Samatha Mahamudra or Vipassana Mahamudra, the object of Mahamudra meditation is your mind. Your mind. Okay? Your mind. So the subject of meditation is your mind. Object of meditation is your mind. So you could meditate on your mind and develop samatha, calm abiding mind, by meditating on your mind or with your mind, or you develop shunyata view by meditating on your mind and by your mind, because your mind itself is empty of inherent existence. The subject mind is empty of inherent existence. Object mind is empty of inherent existence, right? And you will experience the emptiness of the mind, your mind. Emptiness, you will experience emptiness of your mind as a subject or object, or you could experience more or less simultaneously. It's possible. So first, meditate on your mind and as use as a object of developing calm abiding mind. But before we talk about this meditating calm abiding mind and so on and so forth, and it is important to talk about what is mind. So here, as I this is my book here, Geluk Mahamudra, Eloquent Speech of Manjushri. Okay, so here I read: the ultimate nature of the mind is clear light. Okay, so the ultimate true nature of our mind is clear light. Clear light, when I say clear light, I'm not talking about light of the sun or light of the moon. And when you look at the mind, you see suddenly bright object, some kind of like something is coming in front of you, or like some kind of UFO or something. It shows up in front of you. Or maybe you look at the sky, you see a moon, a bright moon on full moon day, or you see Mars. You're not talking about some kind of bright object. Clear light, the mind, nature of the mind is clear. And clear light, Mind has no beginning and no end. So you meditate, if you meditate and on your mind, do analytical meditation. If you say, where is the beginning of mind? Well, you could say, well, when I was born, that was the beginning of mind. When I remember things. No, that's not the beginning of mind. Maybe when I was conceived and in mother's womb, that might be the beginning of mind. No, that's not the beginning of mind. You could say, my mind came through the bardo, entering into the mother's womb, between sperm and egg, right? That might be the beginning of mind. That's not. That's the only beginning of the mind of this life as a person, whoever, whatever your name is, whoever you are, beginning life, the beginning of this life, not beginning of mind. It goes back to past life, previous, goes way, way, way back. No beginning. No, never had a beginning. This is an interesting thing. Why do you need to find a beginning? You see, many people want to know the beginning, right? And well, there is no beginning, and you don't have to have beginning. And see, people in West, or people grew up in a Judeo-Christian tradition. You have to have some kind of beginner. Somebody has to create it, and that's why you have the creator. And same in Hindu tradition, they talk about creator, and in Buddhism there is no creator, and absolute truth, uncreated absolute truth. There is, and there's no creator, uncreated absolute truth. And what about the end of the mind? Mind, there's no end. Most people think, oh, when you become unconscious and when you pass out or when you die, then that's the end of the consciousness. That's only end of consciousness this time, in this life, in this body, not the whole consciousness. It doesn't end there. And it only expired temporarily and expired temporarily and not expired completely. There's no expiration. And like Mexican driver's license, it says permanent. I'm joking. And a couple of my Mexican students here listening, hola, Mexico. And anyway, so this is not a joke. I want my student, her driver's license is permanent. What does that mean? It's actually nice. You don't have to renew again and again. I thought it'd be nice to have one like that, driver's license, permanent. What about permanent passport? That would be nice. And you don't need to renew one, right? Or maybe you can have electronic passports, maybe soon, digital passport. That would be nice. And anyway, so is there end? No, there's no end. So, okay. All phenomena are manifested or produced from the mind. This is the teaching of the Buddha and all the great masters. So everything what we experience in our life, what we see, what we hear, what you think is part of your mind. Your mind is creating. And it's all you. Maitreya Buddha state, mind is like a water. True nature is pure. Water can be temporarily impure, but it can always be purified. Mind is like the sky. It is free from limitations. It is vast, empty, and spacious. Mind is like a diamond. The true nature is clear light and precious, but it is true value can be determined only by a diamond cutter. So Maitreya Buddha said, the mind is like the water, mind is like a sky, mind is like a diamond. 3 examples Maitreya Buddha gave in his text called Mahayana Uttara Tantra, Yu Lama. Jo chambi ge ni song chamchu denga yorwa chamchu denga nala Dingi nang say, Jula menala sodo, Rinchin namka, Chuda, Pedaki, Shiva Jas, Rinchin namka. Rinchin is the precious Jew, Namka is sky, Chuda means water, Rinchin namka, Chuda, Pedaki, Shiva Jas. So the sky and the precious dew and the water are the example of the mind. You look at them. Sky is vast emptiness. Mind is like that vast emptiness. Water is always pure, but a temporary level is impure. Then you purify again. You use the purifying technology and softening water and so on and so forth, and you can drink water again. Otherwise, there's too many calcium or maybe lead or even uranium and so on and so forth. You can purify them, right? We can buy one technology today is installed in your basement, and I got one of those. There was too many calcium, and now its water is good, drinkable. Jewel is like that, and if you or diamond is pure. If you don't know it's a fake diamond or a real diamond, you ask diamond cutter. Ask somebody like Geshe Michael Roach, and he was a diamond dealer or diamond expert before he became a monk. Okay, and okay, I think I should stop here. It's already 5 o'clock. And if you have questions about Mahamudra or foundation practice, refuge, and so on, well, you're most welcome.
Apparently, they just had an earthquake in Melbourne.
Oh,
6.0.
wow.
Like just about half an hour ago.
I hope people are okay.
Yes.
It's unusual in Australia.
It is, eh?
Earthquake, right? Have you ever seen earthquakes? You usually have earthquakes? No.
On the eastern seaboard, yeah.
Right. So Melbourne is east, sort of southeast.
Yeah, it's east.
Right. I hope my friends in Melbourne are okay.
Good.
We are all okay, thanks. Yeah, Amanda said.
Yeah, Amanda says
Good.
yes.
Thank
And
you.
Chris says yes.
Good.
Very strong in Gippsland.
Yeah. Gippsland. I know Gippsland. Wilson's Dormitory. Gippsland. I hope Michael Adamak is okay. One of my friends, his name is Michael Adamak. He lives in Gippsland.
Sounds like they're all okay. That's good.
Yeah, they're all good. Good. All right. Any Dharma questions?
So Junior Coconut Kiwi asks, Rinpoche, not that it is matters, but her mind wants to know where the mind is located. Is it in the heart?
Yes, according to Tantra, yes, we say the primary principal mind is located in your heart chakra.
Okay. Krish, thank you. Christian asks, first we meditate on samadhi and then vipassana. This means in every meditation session, do I start vipassana only after years of practicing and finally attaining samadhi?
Say it again.
Yeah. So he's wondering, according to the book, what you're saying, yeah, Mahamudra, first we meditate on samadhi and then vipassana. So what realizations do we have to have with samadhi before we progress to vipassana, or do we just incorporate one and then go to the other?
First, you do foundation practice.
Yeah.
First, you spend a lot of time on foundation practice. Then you do samatha Mahamudra, then do vipassana Mahamudra. And but this does not mean that you can't start samatha Mahamudra without done all the foundation practice. You can every day do some meditation on samatha Mahamudra. But to get authentic realization of Samadhi Mahamudra, you have to do foundation practice.
Good. And then how soon after can you start doing Vipassana, or should you wait till you get some realization?
You have to wait until you get some realizations.
Okay.
And you can get some advice from your teacher.
Good. Thank you. Alex asks, how can I incorporate Mahamudra meditation into Gaden Lagyama? Alex Teo.
How to incorporate
Mahamudra meditation into Gaden Lagyama?
So that's a good question. Well, as I said, you have to do foundation, refuge, bodhicitta, mandala offering, Vajrasattva practice, and Guru Yoga, right? So Gandha Lagyama is Guru Yoga. So you do Gandha Lagyama first. Then within Gandha Lagyama itself is refuge is there, right? There's a mandala offering in Gandha Lagyama. Before you do the Miksema mantra, you do mandala offering, even a short one. And then, so Guru Gandha Lagyama is the foundation practice for Mahamudra. You do Mahamudra Gandha Lagyama first, then do Mahamudra meditation.
Okay, thank you. Pedro asks, how do we take deep refuge in the Guru so our Mahamudra practice may grow?
How do we take deep refuge?
Deep refuge in the Guru.
Deep refuge to Guru?
Yeah.
Well, the word deep is a good word. But I think it's hard for new people, beginners, when you say deep refuge. What does that mean? Deep refuge, right? Those are all students or people who studied Dharma before, long time, or who practice Guru Yoga. Then you can go to deeper and deeper and deeper. That's why it's called deep Guru Yoga, right? So if you want to practice deep Guru Yoga, it really means that you have to surrender to the Guru. That's what meaning is, deep. Surrender, so you know what surrender means? Means you do exactly what the Guru says. No bargaining and no, like bargaining, or you only practice, do what Guru said, if it suits for you. And if it doesn't suit you, then you just sort of disregard, right? And that's not deep Guru Yoga. That's not surrender. Some people do that. They only like to hear what they want to hear. If they want to hear something the Guru says, you do this, then I'll do it. If the Guru says something I don't feel like doing it, and even though you don't know, I shouldn't say you don't know. It is important for you because Guru knows, but you don't understand, and you don't even bother why you're asking me to do this. And if you ask Guru, the Guru will tell you. Or if Guru might say, "Well, I'll tell you later on when you understand. Right now, you don't understand. If you don't want to do it, then you blew it yourself." And so, if you want to do deep Guru Yoga practice, you have to surrender to the Guru. Do exactly the Guru says. Like this is Marpa Milarepa did. This is what Tirulopa did and Naropa did. Follow Tirulopa's advice. And some people practice Guru Yoga only kind of partial Guru Yoga. It's not complete Guru Yoga. And it's like you go to Lama or Shaman, ask to do divination. And you only, when the answer was, if it doesn't appeal you, then you don't do it. If it's a suit for you, then you do it. It's like that. I know one guy used to go around and ask 3 different lamas to divination. And until you find that the answer that is good suit for you. and if some other lama say, "Oh, do this," and I don't want to do that. So then why are you doing this? And what's the point of asking divination to the lama? And it's a funny thing, right? How the mind playing games. So deep Guru devotion means unconditioned. You just say, "I do what the Guru said." For example, I'm not a great Guru Yoga practitioner. When I finished my school, I did my master's in Sanskrit, Tibetan Buddhist philosophy in Varanasi. I got my Acharya degree. After that, the abbot of my monastery, Sarah J. from South India, said, you should come stay 1 year, then you can get Geshe degree, Geshe Laramba Geshe degree. Okay. But then I saw my guru, Japji Trijang Rinpoche. He came same week when I finished my university and degree. And then I asked Japji Trijang Rinpoche, and the abbot says that I should come down, study 1 more year, and then I can get my Geshe degree. What do you suggest? And after 2-3 minutes, he said, no, you should not become a Geshe, and not good for you. There are many obstacles in your life. That's it. So it kind of like lightning, It's like earthquake for me, after all those years studying. Now my guru said, forget about Geshe degree. Okay, well, that was kind of a big surprise for me. And then I said, yes, sir. I have no doubt. I never asked question why. And, that's it. I said, okay, anything else? He said, that's it. And he said, you want anything else? I said, no, I don't want anything. I don't need it. So I was walking slowly. I was kind of a little bit shocked, not like trauma, but shock. And that's it. Now I'm not going to become Geshe. And this one thing he said to me, you don't have to become Geshe, you're Rinpoche. Why become? You don't need a Geshe title. You don't need more credentials. And you don't need this stuff. So then I was walking back to my room, and I was so a little puzzled. And at the same time, I was very happy. Oof, I'm done now. I'm off the hook. I don't have to study anymore. No more Geshe trip. Then I was so really excited. I got a couple of friends, close friends. I want to meet them and have chai. I ran out to the intersection. I saw one of my close friends. Hey, come over here. Let's go have chai. I have something to tell you. He said, what's up? I said, my guru, Japji Trijang Rinpoche, said, I don't have to become a Geshe. Wow. He said, did he really say that? Yes. Wow. And then I saw the other friends same night. And then we had more chai talking this. And I was so excited and happy. He said, okay, from here now, I can go up to the mountains, do long-term retreats. And I don't have to become Geshe. And then a couple of months later, I got an invitation to go to Thailand. So instead of going up to the mountain, I end up Thailand, become a Theravada Buddhist monk, doing Vipassana, this and that. That's how life is. You never know where you're going to end up or what's going to happen.
Great. Thank you so much. Tom asks, I understand there are 2 aspects of mind, object and subject. When we say the mind creates phenomena, how do these 2 aspects do that?
Subject and object?
Yeah.
How do
the 2, subject and object, create phenomena?
Well, the subject is the one creates everything. Subject is the one is creating the object. Your subject mind is also imputing labels. Your subject mind is remembering things about past. And your subject mind has got all this positive mind and negative mind. And everything comes from basically from the subject mind. Then you're creating object mind. And then object mind bounce off reactions. Bounce off, you see the object mind, then you get reactions and you get rewards and reactions and joy or excitement, this and that. And so it's mainly come from the subject mind. It's all kind of created by the subject mind. Object mind is, there is object mind, but the object mind is actually hidden thing, subtle thing, than the subject mind. Subject mind is not so subtle. Object mind is more hidden kind of thing, right? Because how does it work? And but it come from the mind. It's just, I give you a simple example. It's like you have In the old days, you have a slide projector, right? And then you have a screen over there. And then you slide, put it in. And the carousel goes around. You click, 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 fast forward, reverse, right? I got one of those old Kodak projector made in Germany. I still have it. I still have lots and lots of slides. They're good ones. And every now I use that. You click, 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 reverse, and fast forward. So you're projecting the image from the projector and then use the light and then on the screen. And then you can focus. Yeah. You can go reverse or backward and forward and backward, so on and so on. So the mind is creating the same way. Your mind, subject mind is the projector. And the object mind is what you see on the screen. Right? But then again, you turn off, right? And that's how it works.
Great imagery. Thank you. Clear light on that. Lu Dao asks, when taking refuge and including mother sentient beings, is it best to visualize them reciting refuge, or do we consider ourselves taking the lead and reciting the refuge for them?
Both.
Both.
You do both, same time.
Everybody all together.
Yes.
Peter Morgan asks, why is there a need for Sutra and Tantra, Mahamudra?
Why Sutra and Tantra, Mahamudra? That's, well, it's not so much a question of need or no need. And that's how it is. It's when you say word need means something is not working for you, and you need go and get petrol for your car, right? Otherwise, car doesn't start. And if you don't put oil in a car, you ruin the engine. You need oil, right? Or you need a battery for your radio or your watch. Something you need, something is missing, right? You need a heater in the house in wintertime, otherwise freezing cold. Summertime you need a fan or you need air conditioning, otherwise too hot. Use something you need, right? Here is not so much about really need. You can practice Sutra Mahamudra. Sutra Mahamudra itself is sufficient to get enlightenment, and it takes a long time. Okay? It's like you're traveling by train in India, third class train, passenger train, that's called, not express. You're not traveling by Shiva Ganga Express. You're not traveling by Mahabodhi Express in India. I love those Indian trains. And the Mahabodhi Express goes to Bodh Gaya. And that's why they call Mahabodhi Express. Shiva Ganga Express goes all the way to Puri, Orissa. It's from Allahabad, somewhere from Ganga. And it takes a long, if you do express, you get faster. But if you go passenger train, go slow, stop every little stations, right? But eventually you get there. And it might be more interesting because you sit with all these people, even sitting on the floor with a little kerosene stove. They're cooking in the floor of the train. And then you get sadhus and yogis and beggars and even sometimes goats coming inside the train and nibbling some bananas and so on. There's no place like in India, or I heard similar like in Egypt. Okay, so you can get enlightened through Samatha Mahamudra, okay, but slow. But Tantric Mahamudra, if you practice Tantric Mahamudra, after you got all the right conditions, right foundation, after you've done a certain amount of Sutra Mahamudra, then you will exceeding, you could obtain enlightenment faster. This is why you practice Tantra Mahamudra after Sutra Mahamudra. So it's not so much a question of need or not need.
Right. Okay. Just different methods.
Different methods.
Okay. Thank you.
And by the way, Peter Morgan, I know you. I remember you. And good to see you. I haven't seen your face yet, but We did a retreat together in New South Wales with Gerard. Gerard organized, and what's the camp called? Yara Hapini. I remember, my memory is very good. Maybe about 15, 20 years ago. Kim Yara Hapini. Remember, near Nambaka Heads, as south of Bellingen. I remember you. Peter Morgan was there. Good to see you again.
Wonderful. Thank you. Christian wants to follow up with his question. When you say doing foundation practice, do you mean doing an under commitment of 100,000 of each? Or does it mean your daily sadhana, refuge, guru, yoga, etc.?
Si, senor. Your first question.
100,000.
Si, senor.
Yeah.
Gracias.
Okay.
Muchas gracias.
So Tom follows up with his and says, does this mean that we cannot see the actual creative activity of the mind, but only its products when we're thinking of subjective and objective mind?
Subject, object, mind?
Yeah. Does this mean that we cannot see the actual creative activity of the subjective mind, but only its products, the objective mind?
You can see all of them.
But at some point you'll see both.
Yeah, both, yeah. Not simultaneously. Subject to mind, object, not simultaneously, but you can see all of them at some point.
Okay.
If you spend long enough meditating on Mahamudra, Samatha Mahamudra, Vipassana Mahamudra, then you will experience all of those things. You see conventional nature of your mind. You can experience ultimate nature of your mind. You can experience all the drama of the mind. You see all the delusions, and you see emptiness of mind. Everything is possible.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's all.
Good. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. See you next Tuesday. I have one announcement. This Friday, right? This Friday, Ganesha initiation.
No.
Following
Friday, the 1st.
Following Friday, October 1st,
yes.
Which is Saturday in Australia. Here in North America is Friday, October 1st. I'm offering initiation of Red Ganesha Ganapati, 12-arm Red Ganesha initiation. Ganesha is deity of both Hindu and Tibetan Buddhism. And when you receive Ganesha initiation, does not mean you suddenly become Hindu or you did rejecting or abandoning Tibetan Buddhism. No. And Ganesha is one of the deity is worshipped by both Hindu and Tibetan Buddhism. There are many deities we worship commonly. For example, Saraswati and Lakshmi and so on and so forth, and Brahma and Tamba and so on and so forth. So Red Ganesha, I offer the initiation at 3:30 British Columbia time. And those of you who are not Buddhist, if you're a Hindu practitioner, yoga practitioner, you can take the initiation as a blessing. You don't have to take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. You can take it as a blessing. Also, if you want to take it as an initiation, you can do. There is no prerequisition. There is no commitments, such like a bodhisattva vow and tantric vow, and so on and so forth. If you do like to take refuge, bodhisattva vow, tantric vow, you can. And you can also make commitment to do a certain amount of mantra every day. You can do yourself. There's no particular obligations. And so if you're interested, please go to website gardenforthewest.org. There is the information. I wrote description about Ganesha and benefit of Ganesha initiation. Also, Ganesha sadhana is there, and I translated and available. You can download it. And as Ganesha is God of prosperity and removing obstacles, and it's wonderful practice. Okay, thank you very much. See you soon. See you soon. Tuji Che.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Rinpoche. Thank you.